Good morning. This is your 10 a.m. daily weather briefing, continuing with the partly cloudy skies out there around the area this morning and the slightly cooler conditions. And continue to see that steady onshore breeze out of the east with those peak winds up around 16, 17 knots and sustained around 11 knots and temperatures sitting in the upper 70s. Overall, should see a fairly comfortable and quiet weather day ahead with that onshore breeze continuing and no precipitation or lightning expected in the area. And this will be a nice break before we move into a continued stretch of dry weather, but we will see some hot, humid conditions building in over the area as we get to the middle and later portions of the week. Looking at the current surface analysis, high pressure centered off to the north-northeast. That's keeping that onshore flow. We'll see that sinking southward. Continue to keep things dry over the region, but we'll bring that southerly flow back into the area midweek, and that will bring in those hot and humid conditions over the region, making things back to more uncomfortable, but we will remain dry as we move through much, if not all, of the week this week. Looking at the current visible satellite, just some high clouds streaming through the area, a few low clouds around 4,000 feet. We'll generally see those low clouds clearing out and just some high clouds lingering through the day before things clear up moving into the evening time frame. High resolution model will show some shower activity still lingering well off to the south, not expecting any impact from that locally here. Remaining dry with partly cloudy conditions becoming mostly clear through the overnight time frame. And we'll see another cooler evening with temperatures falling into the upper 60s. Do have a chance to see some patchy mist around the area early morning tomorrow, just before daybreak, before that burns off, and we'll see mostly sunny conditions through the day. Slightly warmer as we move through our day on Tuesday, but not expecting any precipitation or lightning, as these winds will be turning more subtly, bringing in some of that heat and humidity, and more of a southwesterly flow as we move into the day on Wednesday, and that will start to crank up those temperatures back into the 90s, but still looking to stay dry with no precipitation or lightning expected. Zoom out here, looking at the longer term forecast. We'll continue to see those conditions as we move into Thursday. More hot and humid temperatures. We'll start to see those heat indexes rising closer to 100 and exceeding 100 as we move through this second half of the week, with again some quite hot and humid air building in over the area, but should see things continuing dry. A few models do indicate a very low-end chance of maybe an isolated shower pushing through early Friday morning, but it looks to be fairly unlikely at this time. Next best chance of rain looks to arrive as we go into the weekend time frame, mainly on Saturday, as we'll see that upper level jet drop slightly further south into the region, and any waves of energy moving through that flow will be closer to the area and potentially impacting the area. As you can see, the model indicating some rain activity dropping and developing further south into the mid-Atlantic area on Saturday, and we see that once again as we move into the day on Sunday. So we'll keep chances of showers and storms as we continue to push through some hot, humid conditions through the end of the week. So as we look at the 24-hour weather risk chart for today, we do have green conditions expected over the next 24 hours. We'll keep a steady breeze out of the east around 10 to 15 knots with those peak gusts 20, 22 knots, but should stay below wind advisory criteria. See our high temperature around 82 degrees this afternoon, and as mentioned, just mainly some high clouds as we move through the afternoon and before skies become clear moving into the overnight time frame, with a low expected around 67 degrees, and with that light and variable wind, do have a chance of that patchy mist as we move through the early morning hours of Tuesday. Tides are running slightly above normal. Looking at the extended forecast here again, dry weather expected through the work week this week, but we will see temperatures on the rise, climbing into the 90s by the time we get into Wednesday, and staying in the mid to upper 90s through the end of the week. Slight cool down maybe with some southerly winds or southeasterly winds on Friday, but still looking above 90 degrees. We will have heat index values pushing 100 or exceeding 100 as we move through Wednesday and Thursday, possibly into Friday as well. And we stay in the 90s as we go into Saturday. That's when we introduce that chance of some showers and thunderstorms, mainly during the PM time frame, likely late PM into the evening. Looking at a 30% chance of that at this time, and then keeping a 25% chance lingering into Sunday, with, again, a kind of typical summer-like weather with daytime driven showers and thunderstorms possible. It does look like we could see a slightly cooler day on Sunday with maybe a break from those 90s. That's going to wrap up the 10 a.m. daily weather briefing. We'll be back again tomorrow at 8:15 and 10 a.m. Enjoy the rest of your day.